So I wanted to talk about people are always getting distracted. And I mean mainly for land flipping with different niches too early or just getting distracted on different ways to do things because they see another podcast or a YouTube video or whatever that is. They're getting too distracted and instead of learning how to the basics at first, learn how to buy and sell land, learn how to evaluate land very, very well. And it's like people coming to us, and I love the questions. I love people looking to do alternative things. I'm not against that. But if you've done zero deals, let's figure out. We know what works. Let's do that 10 times, and then let's start exploring a little more. One thing I've seen recently, Ron, like people are asking a lot about land entitlements. So someone who hasn't never done a land deal asking about a $5 million land entitlement. It's like, let's learn how to evaluate land. Let's learn how to buy land under market value. Let's learn how to sell land. And then let's start looking at these niches. I see too many people too early getting distracted. And then you lose focus of what actually is working. We know this works. We know how to do it. Let's do that 10 times, Ron, then explore.
Yeah, I mean, it will handcuff your ability to make money by getting distracted. Like, how long did Jeff Bezos sell books for before doing anything else? He was selling books on Amazon, and that's all Amazon was an online bookstore. Like, he was focused on selling books, building a community around that, and like so micro focused. And all the richest people in the world, other than maybe like Elon Musk, like they're doing one thing and they do it really, really darn well.
Yeah.
And like staying focused on that. And then when you do have another idea or something, did I say idea? I think idea or something. You need to put 5% of your time into that idea to test it out, to see what's going on.
Right.
And then put 95% of your time and energy into what's working.
Exactly. But even Elon Musk, Ron, when you said that, he stays focused for a certain amount of time. He's not. Now it's a little different because he can get the level of talent and recruits to that level, and he knows. But like he started PayPal, he focused on PayPal for a long time. He sold PayPal. So everything he does, he hyper-focused. He didn't start Tesla and SpaceX in the same year. He gave him 5 years in between or whatever that was. I can't remember the exact time frame. But even him, he stayed focused on those. So I just don't think it can work if you start bouncing around.
Yeah, that's what Hormozy, we've talked about him a little bit. He was talking about Chick-Fil-A and how micro-focused they have been on selling one sandwich for 80 years or something like that. And it wasn't like the biggest company for the first 60 years or something, but the last 15, 20 years, like Chick-fil-A's are everywhere. Some of you guys listening probably don't remember when Chick-fil-A's weren't like on every street corner, but they weren't. We're in the city of Cincinnati and we didn't have one probably till 5, 7, 10 years ago.
It's crazy to think about.
But like micro-focus, they have 8 items on their menu or something like that. Micro-focus on selling these. It's not the best chicken sandwich in the world, but the customer service aspect and selling one item is what they kind of believe in, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.